Snow White and the Huntsman is a new millennium upgrade on a fairy tale that we've all heard since childhood. Chris Hemsworth, who plays one of the leads, described it as Snow White on steroids. But as I watched the film, I could only think, who exactly is this for? It's too grim and violent for younger children, and I'm not so sure that older ones will enjoy it either. In this telling, Ravenna, a heartless witch, kills Snow White's father, takes over the kingdom and imprisons Snow White. Ravenna uses the ultimate anti-aging potion. She stays young and beautiful by sucking the life of young women. Her magic mirror tells her that she can achieve immortality by devouring Snow White's heart. But Snow White escapes and Ravenna dispatches the mercenary Huntsman to look for Snow White.
You will do this for me, Huntsman!
And if I refuse?
Of course, before you know it, the Huntsman has switched sides and is teaching Snow White how to stab opponents.
We're making a new fairy tale, and it's so worthy of the word. I mean, it really does take you somewhere that is, like, otherworldly.
It's always walking this very fine line of fantasy and reality. It's an incredible feast for the eyes.
That it certainly is. Debutante director Rupert Sanders comes from the world of commercials. He creates images of startling beauty. Ravenna's coat made out of birds. Drops of rich red blood on white ice. And my favorite, the magic molten gold mirror. The atmosphere is medieval with soaring castles, brutal battles and oppressed peasants. Snow White isn't a passive damsel waiting for her Prince Charming, but a fighter who ultimately leads men into battle.
Come and avenge your father.
But despite the visual splendor and feminist reworking, Snow White and the Huntsman is a slog. This film is just plain boring. Kristen Stewart as Snow White maintains that same sort of tragic but strong expression that we've all seen in the Twilight franchise. Charlize Theron as the Wicked Witch does have a few moments of chewing the scenery, but it gets too monotonous too quickly. Only Chris Hemsworth, clunky but charming, seems to be having any fun here. Snow White and the Huntsman can't infuse new life into an old fairy tale. My verdict, 2 stars.